All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2025. This is episode 835 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Anthony S., Priceless Pancakes, Cam Godot, Tom Bishop on the boo, Code Brew in the Upstate, Mark Fuentes. We got the entire pre-show Jawjacking crew, Chris Whitlock, AB, Dennis Keefe. I saw a couple others in there. Kicking it old school. Love it, love it, love it, guys. We got a great show for you. I hope everybody had a nice weekend and enjoyed themselves, recharged the batteries, as it were, and are ready to absolutely eviscerate this week of work or study, or work and study, depending on what you're up to and what you're doing. Good morning, Frank James. Hey, JT Webb. Oh, my God. Casually Joseph with the coffee cup jiffy. Heck yeah. It's a full pot kind of situation today. Good morning, everyone. I want you to know we're going to shred the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? Or if you're looking to break into the industry, you're also going to get value from the stream, because you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? And this right here, friends, the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, it's called a bomb answer. Trust me. But you do have to engage. You do have to participate. You do have to pay attention. There's no easy button. There's no quick path. I know boot camps will try to sell you on it, but it's hot trash. You got to put the work in, put the cycles in, day out. Daily Cyber Threat Brief here to help. And also, really quick shout out to the solo operators, your Augusta Delgados, your Stones fans, etc. Kyle. If you're a solo operator, meaning you're a one-person IT shop, a one-person cyber team, whatever it is, know that the Simply Cyber community is virtual coworkers. You got something you need, thoughts on. Hey, how would you do this? Or I'm thinking of doing that. Has anyone used this product over this product? Just ask the questions. The community is here to help everybody. I do want to say holler if you're a first-timer here. Team, we might have a lot of first-timers today. The David Bombal interview that I did at Zero Trust World a couple weeks ago was published yesterday on YouTube about midday. Already a ton of engagement, a ton of back and forth, even some troll comments that I did respond to in the most me way possible. So if you're here from the David Bombal and it's your first time here, welcome to the party, pal. We have a good time, and I hope you do too. All right, guys, I want you to know we're going to cover 8 stories, right? And I didn't research or prep for any of them. Do you know why I didn't research or prep for any of them?
Ain't nobody got time for this.
That's right. Ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I'm busy working. I ain't got time to do research and prep on these things. So you'll get my rough, rugged, raw, first blush analysis, as it were, if we were at work together. Now, before we get into it, let me say shout out to the team, to the stream sponsors, excuse me. Also want to say what's up to Jenny Housley. I do want to let you all know, if you can only catch it on audio only, 2 things. One, you can pick up the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Best friends. Yep.
Also, you can just listen to it. So if you're audio only, I'll do my best to describe what's going on for the benefit of everybody. Super chat coming in from one James McQuiggan. Happy St. Patrick's Day. May you all have the happiness and luck that life can hold. And at the end of your rainbows, may you find a pot of gold. Coffee cup cheers. Salancha. Guinness cheers. Thank you, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Same to you. I did grow up in Eastern Mass, which is like Irish Catholic situation. If you've seen Boondock Saints, it's basically that minus the guns. So I grew up with a lot of Irish pub houses, Muldoon Saloon, BB Binks, all the places that you can get a pot pie and a beer for like $5. You know what I mean? Town spas. All right. Anyways, I'm going to start waxing about Massachusetts things I miss. Guys, before we get into the stream, let me say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring the heat to you every single day. We'll run through this. I'll engage with everybody in chat while the ads are running, and we'll be back in just a hot minute. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real-life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. Cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right, of course, we always want to say holla to Barricade Cyber Solutions. Guys, Barricade Cyber Solutions, if you didn't know, they're dedicated to helping businesses recover from cyber attacks and the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses, send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. You know, obviously, they've got a proven track record. Eric Taylor, you guys know him from the community, from the mods. He's definitely excellent at what he does. He's an expert in incident response, digital forensics. He's also quite adept at the offensive side of operations, so he knows how threat actors operate. You can call him right now, or you can get on his calendar. Also, don't go it alone. Go it alone. If you're going to get punched in the mouth, it's nice to have someone in your corner who can help you deal with that. Barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Just remember, every single day of the week has a special segment, and today is Monday, which means it's the Simply Cyber Community, the Member of the Week, which is a sponsored segment by ThreatLocker, which simply means that the individual who is going to get recognized today is going to receive either a $100 gift certificate to Amazon or $100 plus worth of merch from the Simply Cyber store, their choice. It's all about good times, and I know the individual who's going to get it this week is in chat, so always exciting for that. Guys, if today's your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We have a special sound effect. If you're a regular long timer, you know exactly what to do if you see a first timer in chat. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including today, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, put it in a folder, and then count up the screenshots once a year, divide by 2, multiply by 0.5. You choose your own math adventure. Good morning, Fleetus. Hey, Kimberly. Lara Flores is up in this piece. Marcus Kyler, Tech to Threat. Oh, yeah, good stuff. Get your coffee. Let's get going. Guys, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, March 17th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Basta creates tool to automate VPN brute force attacks. Bruted, B-R-U-T-E-D, is the name of an automated brute forcing framework designed to breach edge networking devices like firewalls and VPNs. It was discovered by a researcher from threat intelligence platform maker Eclectic IQ following an examination of the ransomware gang's leaked internal chat logs. This discovery suggests that Basta has been using this at least since 2023, and it was designed to target technologies from SonicWall, Palo Alto Networks, Cisco, Fortinet, Citrix, Microsoft, and WatchGuard. Bipartisan Senate bill offers improved.
All right, so this story, like, it's basically like bad guys have new weapons. Next story, like, can we get a little bit of hope from this one? Okay, so here's the deal. Basta, who is a, top tier ransomware threat actor. If you didn't know about him, definitely should know about him. Manny Unchained is a first timer. Welcome to the party, Manny Unchained.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Definitely love that. All right, guys. So Basta, very, very capable threat actor, has written an automated credential stuffing tool. So think of something like Hydra, for example. Just, it basically is, you give it a password list and it's attempting to brute force it using names and passwords. Okay. Nothing super complicated here. Okay. It's literally trying different username and password combinations. This is not 0-day technical exploitation, hide your wife, hide your kids kind of thing. It's literally internet facing assets. What's up, Victor Vega, first timer in chat?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Victor Vega, first timer. Sound effects are running kind of low. I'm reluctant to screw around with the sound effects. Hey, you first timers, you Victor Vegas, you Manny Unchains. I do have sound issues from time to time. Yeah, 100% DJ BSEC. So here's the deal. First of all, in the words of Tupac, first off, F your crew and the click you claim. West Side till we die when we spit that game. Okay, just a little quick 90s hip-hop departure there for a second. That was like living rent-free in my mind, and I had to say it. If you're running any type of internet-facing VPN, OpenVPN, SonicWall Extender, Cisco AnyConnect, WatchGuard, it doesn't matter. You use username and passwords to authenticate to them. If a username can be guessed, a password can be guessed, and they're successful, the threat actor will walk in. Hello, can I just tell you, multi-factor authentication, and DJ BSEC hitting the nail on the head. Multi-factor authentication stops this. Hello, like why are we not running multi-factor authentication on accessing things that are internet facing that would give massive access to resources if authenticated correctly, right? Think about it for a second. Your VPN is basically the front door to your internal network to the internet, right? This isn't Walterboro, South Carolina. Okay, this isn't the back porch of the Low Country. This is the internet-facing door to your internal network. You would want to protect the living crap out of it, okay? So multi-factor authentication, my friend, is the least you can do. Like, this shouldn't even be a conversation. Like, ugh. Okay, second of all, if you can't have multi-factor authentication because you're not allowed to have nice things, then you must have really good passwords. Make passwords long and complicated. Make it painful for your end users until you get multi-factor authentication. If your password gets leaked in a data breach, that's how these things get in there, right? That's why credential stuffing happens. They take a data breach and then they turn around and they point it at your internet-facing assets. And remember, Basta doesn't care if you're running SonicWall, Cisco AnyConnect. Basta doesn't care if you're a publishing company and Waltham, let's keep it all Boston, okay? Black Basta doesn't care if you're running a publishing company in Waltham or you're running a beef joint up in Revere, okay? It doesn't matter. You got money, you got access, you got resources. Black Basta is going to encrypt them and charge you money for them, period, full stop. They don't care, all right? I literally have to consciously not have a Boston accent. And when I just let myself go loose, it just comes rushing back in like a tidal wave. This guy, the problem is when I start talking like normal, like Boston, I actually swear a lot more because that's what we do in Boston. My cousin from Boston. All right. TLDR. Today, if you're running an internet-facing VPN solution, Avanti, Cisco, SonicWall, Fortinet, I don't care. Make sure you have multi-factor authentication. If not, I guess go threat hunting and see if you see any weird logins. There's so many ways to protect from this. Obviously, multi-factor, but also conditional access, time-based access. Right? If workers aren't supposed to be logging in on the weekends or in the evenings, excuse me. Oh, geez. All right, let's go.
Improved cybersecurity for water utilities. This bill is being reintroduced by Senators Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada and Mike Rounds of South Dakota after previous legislation was stalled during the 118th Congress. Named the Cybersecurity for Rural Water Systems Act, the bill would, quote, update and expand the Department of Agriculture's Circuit Rider program, which provides technical assistance to rural water systems, end quote. A press release announcing the bill states that, quote, just 20% of water and wastewater systems across the U.S. have basic cyber protections, end quote.
All right. So water utilities getting its day in the sun again, just because Jay Gold worked in sewer, which is, the appropriate word is wastewater. But those in the inner circle call it sewer. Hey, Clara Petzel, first timer in chat. What's up? Good to see you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. So water utilities getting some love, bipartisan. You don't see that very often nowadays. So this is good. Let's see, what do we got here? Small water utilities would get a boost to their cyber defense under a partisan bill. Pair of lawmakers reintroduced. Okay. Here's my thing. A couple things. One, they're funneling. Basically, this is saying they're going to funnel money to small rural water, wastewater. Guys, remember, okay? Everybody's got water. Right? Everyone's got water. Like, I don't care if you're living in North Dakota or you're in Miami where the heat is on. Okay? Everybody's got water. Okay? So we should treat this with a little bit of reverence that we want to protect our rural water system. Silent Cypher first timer. What's up, buddy?
Welcome to the party, pal.
But, water isn't sexy. Okay, last time I checked, I know the Evian bottles made a push in the 80s for sexy water, right? And we got the Pelinars, whatever, that Italian water is kind of hot, right? So hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
But for the most part, y'all, water is just treated like bridges. Like, it's just there and everybody expects it to be there and no one gives a crap. Well, unfortunately, threat actors, specifically China, in their Volt Typhoon, getting into industrial control systems, are popping stuff, and they have shoot for security, right? So their security sucks. And this is going to funnel money to it. Now, I do want to say a couple things here. Let me see if we can find money. Oh, I don't see any money. Hold on one second. Is there a dollar symbol in the story? No. All right. So let me tell you something. Let me help you go beyond the headline, okay? And really quick, Ronell Wood passing the Sec Plus last week. Boom, baby. Nailing it. Okay, so listen, let me take you beyond the headlines. When you see this, even if this gets money, okay, money solves money problems, okay? And I know this might be a little bit of a hot take, But like, how much are small rural water utility places going to get? Okay. Like how many, hold on, let me just do this because I just want to show you the math here. All right. How many small water utilities are there in the United States? Just bear with me for a hot minute, okay? There's roughly 50,000 community water systems, okay? And 45,000 serve fewer than 10,000 people, okay? So just really quick back of the napkin math here. 45,000 water companies within the United States serving less than 10,000 people each. So these are legit small rural ones, and they're the ones who are going to get money, okay? So let's just say how much, like, let's just say you give, I don't know, $10 to each one. That's 450 grand. No. What are you going to do with $10? No, let's give them $100. Okay. So now that's 4.5 million. What are you going to do with $100? Nothing. Buy the IT team lunch on a Tuesday? No, we can't give them $100. Let's give them $1,000. So now we're $45 million deep. $45 million deep, and you get $1,000. What are you buying with $1,000? You're certainly not hiring staff, okay? Because last time I checked, no one's working for $1,000. Okay, you can't even get a consultant to come in for $1,000. You can't buy an EDR solution. You can't roll MFA out. It's like one. If you had, maybe you could get M365 for like a year, depending on the size of your company. But then who's gonna freaking admin it? Okay, so anyways, I hate to be such a wet blanket on a Monday morning, but like this is cool. And yes, let's get the trumpets and get the fanfare going. Pull out your favorite trombone and get crazy on it. Not the rusty one. Oh, okay, but just the trombone, and realize for a minute this money doesn't go very far. It doesn't make an impact. And I hate to be so down on it, but when people see this and they're like taking a victory lap, they're like, well, I guess my work here is done. I've cleaned up water utilities. I'm going to go ahead and take an early leave for the weekend. I feel like my work here is done. It's like, no, you've gotten some money allocated that is barely going to move the needle.
LockBit developer extradited from Israel and appears in New Jersey court. Following up on a story we covered last December, 51-year-old Rostislav Panev, who is accused of being the developer of the LockBit ransomware, has been brought to the U.S. to face 40 charges relating to dozens of LockBit ransomware attacks.
Yes, sir!
The Justice Department had been pressing for Panev's extradition since unsealing an indictment against him in December. Aside from being caught with credentials for a LockBit developer repository, Panev is also accused of sending direct messages to LockBit's suspected primary administrator, Dmitry Yorovich Koroshev, who is still at large.
All right, hold on. There we go. Okay. Yo, check it out. I love this, guys. First of all, let's do a victory lap, shall we?
Regulators, mount up.
All right. So law enforcement, the noose tightens slowly. Honestly, I feel like United States law enforcement in these type of situations, like particularly Department of Justice, they're basically like UFC 1 Royce Gracie type attack. And it really quick, this will make sense. Okay, I promise you this is a valid metaphor. Okay. Nowadays UFC fighting, right? If you've ever watched a single UFC fight, they have timed rounds. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. They punch each other. They do some arm bars and whatever. But for the most part, everybody's wicked skilled now. And these things don't really devolve. But in UFC 1, when they had, or even like the first couple UFCs, there was no timer. All right. It was just two different fighting styles. It was basically, the Kumite, except in real life. And they had the one guy with one boxing glove, total dork. But anyways, Royce Gracie was the first Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy to compete in this event. And his fights would take like 60 minutes and they were super boring because like the first 30 seconds of the fight, he would just get on the guy like a barnacle and then slowly over the next 50, 60 minutes, slowly work his way like a noose tightening, slowly until the guy he was fighting basically got frustrated and like made a mistake. That's what's happening here. Yeah, you can run around, you can drive in your gold car, you can float in your cool boat like the Wolf of Wall Street, but eventually DOJ is going to get you. And this particular guy, LockBit ransomware developer, is getting his. Now, I will say he's not LockBit admin. He's not the guy who was like the ringleader of LockBit. That guy's name's Dimitri something. It might even be in the story here. Hold on 1 second. Dimitri? Yeah, Dmitry Koroshev. This guy right here is the actual LockBit administrator, the primary guy. I would imagine that the Department of Justice is going to attempt to lean on this developer guy as hard as they possibly can legally to make him give up Dmitry Koroshev if Dimitri's even in a place where they can pull it out. I love it. DJ Bisek in chat saying that the Department of Justice is like the rhythm. The rhythm's gonna get you. Is that Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine? Let me know. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of silly today. So anyways, they grabbed this guy. They scooped him up. He was extradited from Israel. Now, here's another thing. This guy was a Russian-Israeli national. I got to tell you guys, I've said it before. I've said it again. If you are going to take on a life of cybercrime, the money's very good, okay? And I'm not endorsing or promoting becoming a cyber criminal. But what I will tell you is that when you make the choice to become a cyber criminal, you're also making the choice to not travel to many, many places in the world, like United States, Canada, Bali, Morocco, like, many places, frankly, that can extradite you to the United States. The Department of Justice has got eyes on you, bro. You're one of like the most prolific cyber criminals in the world. They got you. You hear footsteps? Yes, that's them coming up on you. And honestly, this is why I don't want to commit crime, because I don't want to be constantly looking over my shoulder like freaking, what's his name? Robert De Niro in Heat. You know what I mean? By the way, phenomenal movie, Heat. That's a movie that should have been done in Boston. That would have been legit. All right. This guy's getting 40 charges for computer damage and extortion. How many years are we talking? Give me a number. It's too bad. The guy's 51. Fleet us with gifted subs. 10 gifted subs. All right, here's the deal. This guy, LockBit, 2,500 victims, 120 countries. If this guy takes the entire hit of this, he should not see freedom the rest of his life. He's 51. I think 40 to 50 years is more than reasonable for destroying 2,500 people, 2,500 businesses, making $500 million in ransoms. Yeah. Crime pays. So does justice. All right.
Windows Update makes USB printers print random text. This problem may affect some connected dual-mode printers that support both USB print.
Hold on. He was in Boston? Hold on. No. Wait a minute. It is in Boston. Son of a gun. Oh, no. This is a different movie. This is definitely not Heat. 1995. Mods, can I get a fact check on where the movie Heat was supposed to take place? Because there's a movie called Heat in 2013, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking Heat with Robert De Niro. Yeah, LA. I think it was LA, because there's like an entire scene where they're at the ports. Okay? All right.
And IPP over USB protocols, said Microsoft. The problem arises from Windows updates released since January 29th and applies to Windows 10 and Windows 11 versions, the exception being the latest Windows 11 24H2, which is not impacted. You might observe that the printer unexpectedly prints random text and data, including network commands and unusual characters, said Microsoft. A fix is already available through a known issue rollback and will also be repaired in a future update.
All right, so this might be a legit issue in 2025, but honestly, I secretly hope that some old, like real Bilbo, sorry to call you old Bilbo, but like real Bilbo is like tinkering around and, like shaking his fist at Casually Joe stuff for Justin Gold and being like, you know what, these youngs don't really appreciate printer shenanigans like I do, and then created this problem, which Microsoft's going to fix. You guys have it back in the day, you'd run a vulnerability scanner and HP printers everywhere would just start pissing pages out, right? You print something and like it just like yaks on your paper. Like printer issues used to be a real thing. And don't even get me started. Late 90s, if you tried to get a printer working on Linux, tell me about cups if you would, please. Okay. So anyways, if you have a USB printer, listen, this is a simple one, y'all. Take this story, copy and paste it here. I'll put a link in chat. Printer story. Ready? What I would do, you want to talk about making a little bit of political capital? Take this story and send it to your support desk and say, hey guys, if anyone calls complaining about their printer being jacked up, here you go. Although, oh my God. This is one thing that I get frustrated about. This story is from March 12th, okay? March 12th was last Wednesday. So while it would be wicked beneficial to send this to your support desk, I assure you they've already gotten a ton of calls about this if this was a thing in your environment. So I apologize for this being not what I would consider news. I would consider this like mid. But anyways, this is a good example of something you can send to your support desk and tell them, hey, be aware of this. This thing's here. Yep. Printers do work well on Linux nowadays. Gary's saying he's getting his printer working on Linux. Definitely nowadays, 25 years later, it's significantly better. Way back in the day, though, you used to have to like sacrifice a chicken and pray to like, like polygods to get it to print on Linux. All right. So TLDR, just practice good printing. What I would say is if someone has an issue, you can roll back if you absolutely need to. I feel like, honestly, in 2025, you can either print to another printer or you can connect to it over Bluetooth. There's like other options. This is a USB connected printer, which typically means plugged in directly to your computer versus a network computer like in the printer room. So
Thanks to our episode sponsor, Delete Me. Data brokers bypass online safety measures to sell your name, address, and social security number to scammers. Delete Me scours the web to find and remove your private information before it gets into the wrong hands by scanning for exposed information and completing opt-outs and removals. With over 100 million personal listings removed, Delete Me is your trusted privacy solution for online safety. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and use promo code CISO at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and enter the code CISO, CISO.
here we go. Hello. welcome to the party. Guys, we got so many first-timers in chat. Good morning, Victor Vega, Manny Unchained, among others. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. This is a pretty typical show. We cover the news. We do it in a fun way. Chat is popping off. Hashtag Team SC. I do want to give a shout-out to Roswell, UK, who's definitely older. Roswell, UK, saying something only an old would know. 20 years ago, to print on Linux, you send it to your Windows machine, and then you print from there. So true. So true. Roswell, UK is obviously constrained by character limit because he also would have included frustratingly try to print on Linux for 20 minutes, then send it to your Windows machine. All right, guys. Hey, shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade, Threat Locker, Delete Me, Antisyphon. Guys, shout out to the mod team, keeping this on the rails. I love it. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being here. Hashtag Team SC if you're in chat. We're all about good times. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment, and today is the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Now, this is an opportunity for me and the team to recognize one of the members of the Simply Cyber community. Like I said, we do it every Monday. Like Fleetus has been it, Rio Bilbo, just so many people. Chris Whitlock, the mods, Kimberly, Joseph, Justin, Eric, like so many people making Simply Cyber amazing, making it a community that people want to be part of, making it a community that people are getting help. And you first-timers, I'm telling you, this is not unusual. This is episode 835. We're crushing it here every single day. Also, go check out the Discord. But today's Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, I would like to recognize Abe. No, he goes by AB, and if you don't know him, Abe, this guy's been a member of the Simply Cyber community. He recently, like in the last 6 months, celebrated becoming a U.S. citizen after like 25 years, or roughly a very long time of working towards that. He is just a really great community member. He really does share and care, and he's always sending out really good vibes. If you've been in pre-show jaw-jacking, you know Abe. Like I said, he goes by AB, so if you see him in chat, say hello. But I would like to recognize him as just a community member who lives the core values of Simply Cyber, and I appreciate him. He's also said really nice things and sent prayers to my family, which was really nice. He was at Simply CyberCon 2024, so good stuff. AB, if you want to connect with me, I will get you either a $100 Amazon gift card or a bunch of Simply Cyber merch. Your choice. But ladies and gentlemen, AB, your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. I should have said presented by Threat Locker. It takes a village to run a community like ours, just like it takes a deny by default approach to security to secure your systems like Threat Locker. Thank you, Threat Locker, for allowing me to give AB his award. Now, Drum Major Alpha Sierra, please lead us off with our la 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 la's. If you don't know the words, just say la 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 la, because we're about to do this. I'm going to take a slug of coffee, and then we're going to get back to the news. Let's go! All right, let's get back to work.
One more thing to note, the CISO series has just launched a new podcast called Security.
Oh, CISO series getting tricky by introducing something in the middle of the show. Okay.
You should know. We have more details at the end of this episode. Malicious.
Become best friends. Yep.
Glum Hippo with the 501 super chat. I still say if there was a teen edition of Simply Cyber, it should be called Pimply Cyber. Hashtag business idea. Thank you for the super chat, Glum Hippo. Appreciate the ideas.
PyPI packages steal cloud tokens. Researchers from Reversing Labs are warning of a campaign targeting users of the Python package index repository, that is PyPI, with, quote, bogus libraries masquerading as time-related utilities, but harboring hidden functionality to steal sensitive data such as cloud access tokens, end quote. Time-related means that half of the package files include the word time in their titles, such as time check server get. These time-related packages were used to upload data to the threat actor's infrastructure, while another set, many of which have the word client in their names, quote, consist of packages implementing cloud client functionalities for several services like Alibaba Cloud, Amazon Web Services, and Tencent Cloud, end quote. The researchers say these packages altogether have been downloaded over 14,000 times.
Damn, that sucks, y'all. All right, so malicious code in PyPI repos not new. Okay, threat actors are capitalizing on the reality that developers aren't going to look at imported libraries, right? If you've ever written a Python script that has scraped the web for whatever reason, you've likely used Beautiful Soup, right? If you've ever tried to do some interesting machine learning data things, you may have used pandas, right? No one is opening up Beautiful Soup and looking at it. Like at best, you're just Googling what the function is to scrape the page and what the data coming back looks like so you can parse it. Hashtag parse, casually, Joseph. So if you are running software, Python, and you've imported any of these libraries that have something to do with time check, time server. Not all of them have the word time in it, right? AMZ clients, SDK. Here's the deal. At this point, y'all, this is a common enough attack vector that you really need to educate your end users. Your power users, your engineers, your researchers, etc., to ensure that they at least sniff the Python codes they're pulling down from PyPI or code from NPM or code from GitHub. Even honestly, at this point, if it were me, what I would do is, and I know it's an extra level of pain in the ass, but like, if you're going to pull down a library like Beautiful Soup, right? Like Control A, Control C, right? Select all, copy, paste it in freaking like ChatGPT or something and say, hey, does anything look malicious here? Like, basically make AI do it for you. If you wanted, you could look at the code, diffs, like repos to check in, check out, but that's not really going to work because like malicious code could have been entered 2 weeks ago and there's a bunch of updates since then. So that's not a good approach. The reality is, dude, like there's no reason for a threat actor to find a 0 day if they can get you to bake in a backdoor or a credential stealing capabilities, right? So, like I said, like the thing time is in here, but dude, here's my thing. The time element is irrelevant because it doesn't have to do with time in order to steal your credentials. They're literally just introducing code functions that can allow you to steal creds. It could be a time function. It could be a variable setting function. It could be a web scraper. It doesn't matter. My thought is that they're choosing the time scripts because they know that the developers are going to use it a lot because, like syncing things makes sense. And it's just the function that people use. So I'll tell you what, I haven't seen a good way to protect from this that's like consistent. So threat actors are going to continue to use it. They say suspicious URLs are a key indicator of potentially malicious packages because they're used to download additional payloads. I will say this is a good point. You can go threat hunting in your environment, maybe. If a threat actor introduces some type of credential stealing capability in a benign looking function like time check server, right? These 316 people have their creds stolen. The creds still need to be communicated out to the threat actor controlled infrastructure, right? Just because they steal your credentials on your machine doesn't mean they have it yet. They need to get it to them. They need to go pick up the booty. You know what I mean? They need to get their score, right? It's like it's not that much different than sticking some type of credit card skimmer device on a gas station pump, right? Now let's get away from like ones that wirelessly communicate, but just like a physical one. At some point, you have to go back to the gas station and get it back so you can pull all those credit card numbers. You're not, just because you slide your card through a skimmer doesn't mean the threat actor has your credit card yet, right? It still needs to be transported. So you do have an opportunity. It's very late in the game, but you do have an opportunity to prevent this from going out the door, but it's not easy.
Sentence upheld for former Uber cyber executive Joe Sullivan. The former chief security officer of Uber, who was convicted of obstruction of justice charges in 2023, was appealing several aspects of his sentence and charges, arguing that, quote, the district court made several mistakes in rejecting 2 of his proposed instructions to the jury regarding one of the charges and unfairly allowing the guilty plea signed by one of the hackers into the case, end quote. Sullivan was given 3 years probation by a U.S. federal judge in 2023 after a federal jury convicted him of 2 charges related to his attempted cover-up of a 2016 security incident at Uber, where hackers stole the personal details of 57 million customers and the personal information of 600,000 Uber drivers.
I don't get this. This is so weird. This is weird, and to me, I don't know how to. I'm a simple-minded person, okay? This just feels like one of the interesting nuances of the American justice system, okay? So really quick, just to level set for everybody. Joseph Sullivan was the CISO at Uber when they suffered a cyber attack. And Uber publicly traded, right? So the threat actors wanted money. And the leadership at Uber decided, okay, we'll give you money, but you have to promise you won't tell anyone publicly that you hacked us. And the 2 criminals, the 2 hackers said, sure, no problem. Promise. They even signed paperwork saying that they wouldn't disclose. The criminals signed an NDA, okay? So Uber gives them the money. And then what do you think happens? The criminals go public with it. Oh my God. For the lulz, look at this. We pwned Uber. We got money. LOL, LOL. And shareholders got screwed, and there was like a whole investigation. And it's one of the very few times where criminal charges were brought forward, and Joseph Sullivan, as the CISO, was held accountable. And this was very much all the executives. This is one of those ones where like it was kind of precedent setting for CISOs. So if you're looking to become a CISO, you spring child. I wanted to be a CISO for the longest time. It's really not all that and a bag of chips, but just know that there's like potential liability if you become a CISO, okay? And Joseph Sullivan was brought to trial and convicted of criminal charges of trying to like cover up a crime and screw shareholders and all these other things. Okay. So here's the thing. He never served time in jail. He never went to prison. His sentence was 3 years of probation. Like basically don't do stupid stuff for 3 years, which was fine. Cause he basically committed like a white collar crime. Right. So I'm not that makes it better or anything, but I'm just saying like the chances of him sliding back in and not having, access to opportunities is unlikely, like some convicted felons. Okay, so he is trying to appeal his sentence. He's trying to appeal his sentence, which, by the way, he's almost done with, frankly, because it was in 2023. But he's saying that he's arguing that several mistakes were made in rejecting his instructions to the jury regarding one of the charges and allowing the jury to see some evidence. Now, I get that there's rules and procedure in the justice system, but it just seems weird. It's like he's admitting that he's guilty, but the way that the trial was handled was not correct. So therefore, he must be found not guilty. It's just weird to me. Here's the thing. I will tell you this also. I don't know why he's fighting this, frankly. Most people who are convicted felons do have a tough time getting employment. I will say I've known a couple people over the years in the Simply Cyber community or the cyber and security community that were convicted felons, and it really is trying to fight with, you know, maybe 1.5 hands tied behind your back. It's very difficult, okay, especially getting into cyber. I don't think Joseph Sullivan's going to have a tough time. He's a CISO for like a Fortune 500 company. Like these guys, you know. So anyways, that's the deal. To me, the TLDR here is if you want to be a CISO, you might be taking on additional liability.
Warns of Europe telecom threat. The Cybersecurity Agency of Denmark made this statement in a threat assessment published last Thursday, warning of, quote, an increase in state-sponsored cyber espionage activities targeting the telecommunications sector in Europe, end quote. Although no direct mention of Salt Typhoon's activities in the US was made in the statement, nor has there been any confirmation of Salt Typhoon activity in Europe, the Danish agency stated, quote, there have been several attempts at cyber espionage against the European telecommunications sector in the past few years, end quote, and it worries that European governments may, quote, lack the political incentives to make a public attribution, even if China is identified as responsible, end quote.
All right. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, right? Cersei Lannister said that. By the way, fun fact, if you're going to DakotaCon this Friday in Madison, South Dakota, I know it's probably a very limited amount of people. I will be speaking at that conference. I'm flying out Thursday. I'll be there Friday. So shout out to Dakota State University. Go Trojans. All right, guys, the United States telecom industry got absolutely, you know, bent over a barrel, if you will, recently by China. You know, it's been attributed to them. Top telecom communications infiltrated. Who knows how deep the persistence goes? A lot of times threat actors will set up multiple layers of persistence. That way, if you catch a couple of them, you feel like you rooted out the bad guy, and in reality, they're still there. There were talks about leveraging the existing infrastructure for wiretaps and span port taps that China may have been taking advantage of. But the United States isn't the only place. Obviously, you know, I don't want to say Chinese adversaries, but intelligence is highly valuable. And it looks like China is using the same process, the same TTPs to execute on other telecom communication sectors in the world. You could see Denmark. I think they mentioned another one here. Was it Germany? So yeah, I mean, if you're good at breaking open one, why not break open all of them? What is interesting and why I made the Game of Thrones reference is because Denmark, which is a smaller country, not necessarily a power player on the world stage, not to take away from Denmark. I mean, it's cool, but they're not, you know, when was the last time you saw the Danish military do something, right? So what is interesting is even with evidence, they're unlikely to publicly attribute this attack to China because they don't want to bring on that type of pressure, right? They don't want to bring that that level of heat down on themselves. You know, they got to be able to walk away in 30 seconds if the heat's spotted around the corner. That's a callback to the Robert De Niro. Al Pacino. All right, guys, here's the deal. If you work in telecommunications at all, I don't care what country you're in, you may want to put Salt Typhoon on your bingo card and begin looking at their TTPs and protecting against that, okay? That's all I would say. Like, dude, tabletop exercises are great in general, but if you're going to get a little bit more mature, then definitely look at the specific threat actors that are targeting you. You can see here, I mean, this is in, I can't even read this. This is in Dutch, I think. Can we communicate this in English? All right, here we go. Threat assessment to the telecom sector. There's a PDF here. Oh, this is good. So this is interesting. If you would like to check out an actual threat assessment done at a nation state level, this is pretty cool. So GRC Mafia, this could be pretty cool from a threat assessment. I don't know if this PDF is in English or in Danish, but Looking at a professional grade threat assessment could be good.
Micronesian island suffers cyber attack. To show that nowhere on Earth is safe from cybercrime, the tiny island nation of Yap, that is YAP, has suffered a ransomware attack, forcing the shutdown of all computers in its government health agency. Yap is one of the 4 states of the Federated States of Micronesia and is located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, roughly equidistant between the Philippines and Guam. Health officials from the island announced the attack, which occurred on March 11th, on Facebook, stating that their health services are still continuing, but are slower due to systems having been taken offline. We are
all right, so the country of Yap is hit. I got to tell you really quickly. Hold on, let me zoom out. I'm like, for those Jenny Housley, DJ BSEC who are on audio only, I've zoomed in on a map of Yap. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see where it is. I'm zooming out. A lot of water. A lot of water. How do you even get there? So this looks like it's I mean, literally a dot in the middle of the ocean. I wonder if they have Starlink. Like, what are we doing here? Dude, it's like Guam is like 8 sizes bigger than this country. There you go. Today you learned, or I was today years old when I learned. Can we look at images of this? Hold on 1 second. It does look beautiful. Anybody been to Yap? Here, let's see. All right. Really quick, small country. As they said in the story, it just goes to show you no one's safe. Guys, if you are a small business and you're taking the approach of we're too small to get hit, how about a small country too small to get hit, right? Threat actors don't give a damn. Ransomware threat actors, financially motivated criminals, they literally don't care. It's a numbers game for them. Let's go all the way back to the very first story, Black Basta, right? Black Basta, brute forcing, choose your own adventure VPN. They don't care. It's a numbers game. They want to pop as many people. Dude, if you have an internet, listen, let me break this down for you. If you have an internet facing asset, that means you have an IP address between 0000 and 255, 255, 255, 255. And yes, I'm being very liberal. I get that there's non-public routable IP addresses. I know there's reserved IP addresses. Let's not get into the nuances. My point is, because there is a finite range of IP addresses, you can iterate over them over and over and over again. This is how Shodan does it. This is how others do it. Which means this country of Yap had an internet-facing IP address, and someone slid into their proverbial DMs and detonated malware, period, full stop. I'm telling you, the threat actors who did this, they don't care if it was Yap or the Philippines or, Singapore, Toledo, Mexico City, Tierra del Fuego. They don't care. They just want to wreak havoc and get paid to make it stop, period, full stop. Okay? So this sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Tabletop, dude, all the things. This small country probably doesn't have a lot of resources, especially for healthcare. So hopefully they are not down too long. But it just goes to show you guys, whether it's healthcare or manufacturing, backups, processes, tabletop exercises, all the things, okay? You're never too small to get hit.
Thrilled to announce the launch of our brand new...
Nope. Here we go. All right, guys, check it out. Before you go anywhere, I've got some major updates. Number one, we are doing a Simply Cyber Firesides today, Monday, March 17th, today at noon. Right, Kimberly? Doesn't say noon on here. I don't know why it doesn't say noon, but I'm pretty sure it's at noon today. Okay, we're going to be talking with Matt Kiley. This guy is big brain. This guy is so cool. wicked smart. He works at Huntress alongside John Hammond. He's hiked the Appalachian Trail. He has been doing a buttload of research in Azure and identifying how gross Azure is from a security perspective. And he's going to drop so many knowledge bombs on your head. Now, listen, the reason we're doing it today at noon and not Thursday is because I'm going to be on an airplane going to Madison, South Dakota on Thursday. And Matt was very gracious to reschedule to Monday. So we're going to do it today at noon. Come get some value. I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. But wait, there's more. Act now, and you can get a Lunch and Learn series tomorrow at, what time is this? 1 p.m., noon? Tomorrow midday. PBO, Professor Black Ops, you might know him from chat, John Hightower. He's releasing a course in the Simply Cyber Academy, a full deep dive on NIST 853, and he's going to do a Lunch and Learn, a 1-hour practical webinar tomorrow. Show up, bring your lunch, and I promise you, you're going to leave with new knowledge that you can use in a practical setting. It's going to be great. Plus, you get to meet PBO. He's a really cool dude. Very, very caring about community. It's going to be all about good times. All right, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because we're going to do some jaw jacking. But as far as this show goes, episode 835, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. You got to go. We'll see you later. Hopefully at noon for Matt Kiley's thing. Otherwise, I'll see you at jaw jacking. Yeah. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Hey, what's up? How you doing? You first-timers here. My name's Jerry Guy, and we're kicking it. Every single day after the daily cyber threat brief, we do a show, completely separate show, but we keep the train rolling, called Jawjacking. I cannot mentor one-on-one. I cannot answer everybody's question one-on-one through DMs, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube chat, comments, whatever. But I can reserve 30 minutes Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., and I will answer as many questions as I can. You just got to put it in chat, put a Q in front of it so I know it's a question for me. And allow me to introduce myself. My name's Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief with that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. What a zero that guy is. Are you kidding me? But I'm super pumped to be here, kicking it. You can tell I'm different than Gerald as I have glasses on. Honer Joe, everyone in chat, Team Replay reminder, this month's Meta CTF is Thursday the 27th, 5 to 7 p.m. Yes, sir. Thank you, Honer Joe. If you didn't know, we do a monthly CTF. The Simply Cyber community does a monthly CTF. It's free to play. There are prizes, $100 Amazon gift card in the coveted black badge roll for first place, $50 for second, $25 for third place. Registration, you do have to sign up to play the CTF, but this isn't a trick. I'm not emailing the people who sign up for the CTF to tell them about stuff. It's a cool community thing that we do. All right. So what are your questions? Drop them in chat. I'm here to help. Otherwise, I can just kind of tell you guys what's going on. Also, let me know how your weekend was. We're doing major reno here at the house. Also, I know you can't really see, but I've been tinkering with a new show concept. I really wish I could show it to you. Like, it's got a table. We've got microphones, in-person interviews. Maybe we can get Eric Taylor down here, Casually Joseph down here. Any low country people, Code Brew, if you're going to make a trip down here for beers, we could do it. Question coming in hot. Clifton Reed, how often do you use AI and what is your common use for it? Clifton Reed, I use AI every single day. Every single day. And what I have basically devolved into is it's kind of funny. I don't need to do this, but I choose to do it. I use Gemini for personal stuff. Let me see. Look it. So here's my phone. Gemini is in my hot button track right there. And then Claude is right there. Okay. And ChatGPT is there, but I probably am going to uninstall it because I don't use it. I use Gemini almost every day. So you may or may not know. Mrs. Auger can cook. I can cook, but I do probably I enjoy cooking, and I cook probably quite often. All right. For the family. So I use Gemini. If I'm feeling uninspired, I might just put in Gemini, hey, I have, open the fridge and be like, hey, I have chicken, Brussels sprouts, a pepper, whatever. And I have all the side things, right? Like I have oils and spices and all that crap that you always have. And I'll ask Gemini to give me 5 recipe ideas, and then I'll get inspired. So I use Gemini often for that. I use Claude for business stuff. Okay. So let's say I'm going to send out, example, PBO is doing a lunch and learn tomorrow. Okay. I might say, hey, Claude, I'm doing a lunch and learn series where we're going to have instructors from the academy deliver a 1-hour practical webinar on a topic. Here's the audience. Here's the instructor. Here's what I expect the audience to get from this. Can you write a succinct description for that webinar that captures, the essence of what you would get for value, but in a succinct way? And then I review that, and it's usually tight, nicely packaged, dense, and I just copy and paste that in, right? So it allows me. I like using Claude for business to say things I can just basically puke into Claude, and then it can reply with something useful. So thanks for the question. Which Gemini voice did you use, Toasty Pops? Good question, Toasty Pops. You know what's funny? Gemini used to have a different voice that I used for a while, and then all of a sudden it was I had to choose a new voice. Let me see. How do I check my voice here? Let me see. What voice did I give you? Let's see if it knows the answer.
As an AI, I don't have a voice of my own. I can process and generate human language, but I don't speak or communicate.
Whatever one that is. I used to have a female. It was kind of I don't know. It was a female, and now I think I have a dude. So there you go, Toasty Pops. Ronald Wood says, hey, Jerry, I hope all is well. I just wanted to know, what's your opinion on GovTech? Well, Ronald Wood, I mean, I worked in federal IT for a number of years. I enjoyed it. Here's what I'll tell you. In the current climate, it doesn't seem a lot of people getting laid off in the government space. Okay. Second of all, I was a contractor, not a civilian employee. So be mindful of that. 2, I got to travel a lot, which was cool, but also having to deal with contract renewals was stressful. It's actually the reason I left, was to get a regular, recurring, dependable job and not have to sweat about contract renewals. Also, as you grow up in the professional services sector, they expect you to start doing contract recompetes and non-billable work that kind of sucks. So, yeah. So I would say, I don't know, GovTech's fine. It's a good place to cut your teeth, especially on the audit side. Fabian Rodriguez says, I'm taking my CompTIA Sec Plus exam next month. What extra resources would you recommend? And I keep second guessing myself. First of all, Fabian, second guessing yourself, definitely imposter syndrome. Don't sweat it. Take a bunch of practice exams, and if you're getting over 90s, you're good to go. As far as resources go, Professor Messer is definitely the best for comprehensive resources, but I would recommend, Fabian Rodriguez, you check out Slay Security Plus. Slay Security Plus. Jesse Johnson does a community-based a meetup every single Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what time zone you're in, but check this out right here. He basically does like live exam questions, allows people to answer, and then he gives you the right answer and explains why. It's a really cool concept. He's been doing it. Let me see. He's been doing it. He did it. See, he just streamed 1 day ago, right? I guess he did it on a Sunday. I love Jesse. Okay, Jesse's a good friend of mine. He's not executing. He's not nailing the consistency, but he is trying to do it every weekend. So I would check this out as well. Okay, who asked that question? Fabian. Okay, Fabian. There you go. I hope that helps, Fabian. Let's keep going. We've got 20 minutes, plenty of time. Yeah, I used to run a British accent or an Australian accent. It's just honestly, I don't care. Like it's one of those ones where like if I had the time, I would probably change it. And I know it sounds stupid because it probably only takes a minute to change the voice, but I just have a lot going on. I hate to sound like such a loser, but like I just have so much going on that I just don't even have time to change the voice.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So Drago says, how acceptable is using internal info in AI like Claude? We have Copilot with our Office sub, but it's kind of lame. Yeah, I haven't even tried Copilot, honestly. I love Claude. What I would say is, honestly, if you have a paid version of Claude, I would do the... if you have a paid version of Claude, I would just look through the terms and see where your data goes. But for the most part, I wouldn't put any internal information into Claude. What I would say is what I like to do. Well, hold on. I'm going to tell you two things. One, there is a certain level of information that you can put into Claude that would be specific to your organization, but would not disclose anything sensitive. So I would say that sensitive information like financials, people's names, network diagrams and stuff, I wouldn't do that. Oh, FedEx is saying that Jesse Johnson was on the road, so he basically pushed till Sunday. There you go. And that's another reason why you should get involved with that Slay Security Plus community so you can get the updates on it. So I will tell you all this really quickly, okay, in full disclosure. So there is a system called EOS, okay? Oh my gosh. I'm not selling this. I'm not pitching you guys. I'm just showing you. There's this thing called EOS, okay? And it is a massive system to implement to run a business, okay? Now, I run a business, and I need help because I don't have an MBA, okay? And there's a lot I don't know. I'm definitely the poster child for work harder, not smarter, okay? And I'm okay with that. But EOS is something like, there's a book right there, you can't even see it, called Traction that talks about how to implement EOS. I'm implementing EOS, and I'm using Claude to help me implement EOS. So I do put some information into Claude that is not super sensitive, but is relevant to my business, and ask Claude to help me with EOS. So just in full disclosure, that's another use case for Claude that I'm using that also involves sensitive information. What I would say, Dragos, is I don't want you to get fired. I don't want you to get in trouble. And I don't want a data breach happening because of you. So I would be mindful about putting anything sensitive into Claude, and definitely double check with your policy. And yeah, I think Copilot's lame too. Zach's not bored, says he's thinking about getting a DoD recognized cert. It's not a bad idea. Angular says, where is your green? Quick send in Mrs. Auger for a pinch. I don't know what you mean. Like, are you talking about cooking? Like green, like a vegetable? Taekwon Gong, how do you better management communication to get my point across? Taekwon Gong, that's actually kind of funny. It's very meta because question is a little confusing, and your question's about communication. Taekwon Gong, what I would say, honestly, that's another great example. That's what I'm talking about using Claude for, where like I put in what I want to communicate, and then I tell Claude, like the audience I'm trying to communicate for, and clean it up a little bit. So that could be a way to do it. Shane says, morning, Jerry. Just saw a vid using drones to post up close to businesses and use bluejacking attack to gain access to computers. Are there any protocols not to use Bluetooth keyboards and mouse? No. I mean, no. I mean, if you want, you can have a policy that you're not to use those type of things. I don't know of any like encrypted Bluetooth connections. If you really are sensitive to this particular attack, you basically need to mitigate the risk, and mitigating the risk would involve a policy around no Bluetooth, right? I will say this is a real thing. I haven't seen it with a Bluetooth attack, but I have seen drones. A small financial company in New York City, I think. Yeah, check this out. This is from 2022. Hopefully there's a cool picture. No. Basically, someone someone put a Wi-Fi pineapple on a drone and flew it over a financial services company, parked it on the roof, and then hacked into their wireless network. Right? They didn't fly a server rack down. They flew a Wi-Fi pineapple down. So this attack technique has been seen. And yeah, it's been used with some level of effect. Honestly, I've seen it before. It's a really difficult one to protect from. The NSA has done this. You would need to honestly either ban Bluetooth or wireless, which isn't going to happen because, wireless is where it's at. But you need a team to actively search for malicious clients on your access points, right? Also, obviously, if you're using WPA2, not just for authentication, but encrypting the wireless transactions, that's a thing. If you're using Wi-Fi Pineapple, they could set up an evil twin attack where someone connects to a maliciously controlled access point and then routes the data through. That's definitely possible. Honestly, you have to look for unapproved access clients on your network, which is not easy. But if you're worried about an attack like this, that's what you got to do. 3 years in, talking about getting CISSP. Yeah, I mean, CISSP says 5 years, but you can easily find the other 2 years. Is there such a thing as being overqualified in cyber? No. Okay, same question. Real Bilbo says rocks and bigger rocks. I think he's talking EOS. In EOS, they do talk about rocks. I'm actually pretty excited. I started the EOS on January 1st, and they do things in 90-day increments. So I'm actually about ready to do an offsite with myself, and basically do my 90-day review. Angular says, aren't you worried about your data being used for malicious purposes? Using AI online, even if they don't send your data to a third party, isn't an unnecessary attack surface? Yeah, I mean, honestly, Angular, you have to do a risk assessment, right? I mean, obviously anything you put in anywhere could be weaponized, but I mean, fortunately, I'm a very small business. So like I have my fingers on kind of the pulse of like what's going on. So yeah, some of it could be used malicious, but you also have to remember someone would have to crack into Claude and then know that it's my data, know it's my business, understand how to weaponize it. Like, I don't know. Stones fan, my man, Rob Cooper, have you had chicory coffee? I was having dinner at a Vietnamese boba place last night and they had a Cafe du Monde. Picked up a can of it. If you know, you know. Oh, I know. Listen, guys, if you want... Hold on. I'm thinking CISO Demon. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. So I was thinking of something else. So Cafe de Monde, I just had to Google. I guess Gary Sturgiotis, Tech Ricky know about it. I do want to point out really quickly, you did get me thinking about this. Saison Lumon. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. This, oh my God, bruh. Hold on 1 second. I was trying to pull up something. No, I guess I was wrong. I will have to get my crap sorted out. All right. Zach's not bored says you can host your own AI locally. That's very scary. Cybertrucker says, great call on EOS. Solid choice. Thank you, Cybertrucker. I'm enjoying the crap out of it. It's helping me a lot. Is it good to use AI for potential Sec Plus questions on the go, or should I stick to vids and book references? SS Boxer. On the surface, I would say Sec Plus using AI is good, but AI can hallucinate still, right? So you might actually be using AI and it's giving you bad information, and then you're learning the wrong answers, which is not good, right? We disable Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on all computers. There you go, Code Brews got it. All right, Mark on YouTube is saying Bastille Security and Nozomi networks help monitor radio frequencies. There you go. You could create a skiff and shield the walls. There you go. Luke Canfield's doing war flying drones. There we go. Code Brew says he can't stand chicory coffee. I will say chicory coffee is definitely something you should try once. I don't like it myself, but Cam Godot says, do you have a St. Patty's tradition? Did you have one in Boston? My family now does the whole Chinese on New Year's thing. No, I mean, so growing up, I grew up in an Irish Catholic family, okay? So growing up, what we would do on St. Patty's Day is go to a, so a couple things. One, you got to understand that like Eastern Mass and like local houses, public houses, right? It's a thing that if you don't know, it might sound weird, but like a lot of towns in Massachusetts have like, they're called town spas or like neighborhood public houses. And some towns have many of them. They're usually Irish in nature, which means dimly lit, wood, lots of wood, usually has like a U-shaped bar or a full, like a horseshoe bar. And there's Keno, for sure. There's Keno. They'll have pizza, like bar pizza, it's called, or town spa pizza. And people aren't, I mean, some people are obviously getting wrecked, like boozed up. But for the most part, families go, like you bring your kids, it's like an extension of a living room. And yeah, people drink beers and stuff, but like most people aren't getting crooked, okay? They're just, it's like a neighborhood communal house. And a lot of times, St. Patrick's Day, people make it a point to go out to those communal houses on that day. People are eating corned beef and cabbage or corned beef Reuben sandwiches and stuff. There's more than just like town spas too. Like there's a place called Ron Emma's in Bridgewater. If you know, you know. Like that's another like one of these common places. So people just basically go out. You drink a green beer. Some people will get Guinnesses, but a lot of people, you know, just want like a Bud Light with green food coloring. There is a parade in Holyoke, Mass. That when I started working out in Western Mass, we would go to the parade. Not my biggest fan. I'm not a huge fan of parades in general. Maybe save this for Tidbits Tuesday. I think parades are overrated, frankly, right? You're standing around, you're cold. There's no bathroom, right? If you're drinking, maybe you're a little bit warm, but it still kind of sucks. Parking's a pain in the A. These things go by, and they're like, whatever. I'm not a parade fan. Tidbits Tuesday on a Monday. Yeah, and green beer kind of sucks too, right? All right, Triple D says, what's the best security accessory for the truck Nissan Navara? What's the best security accessories for the truck Nissan Navara? I don't even understand this question, Triple D. I guess, a security accessory would be like the club, which you can put on the steering wheel and prevent people from stealing. Code Brew knew what I was talking about. Le Fin de Mont. Dude, there's a French-Canadian brewery called Unibrew. They don't distribute into South Carolina anymore, at least in the Low Country. And Le Fin de Mont is definitely one of my favorites. Also, Tres Pistoles is so good. Here we go. I'm going to take a luxury here for myself. If you know about craft beer, you know I like it. Look at this. Here's Le Fin de Mont, right? They got a white beer that's pretty good. This Belgian double style ale over here is really good on the far left. The problem is, don't feed me. Listen, really quickly. Don't feed me bourbon. I'm like a gremlin. Don't feed me bourbon, and don't feed me Scotch ales, or else I turn into a monster. But Le Fin de Mont is good. And where's Tres Pistoles? They don't have it here. Hold on one second. This is it right here. This might be my favorite. Unibrew beer. Tres Pistoles. It's a dark ale. So good. All right. That's enough of that. Let's get back to helping people with their cybersecurity journey. Saison de Mon. Yep, exactly. Saison de Mon is like the quintessential farmhouse ale. If you ever wanted to try a farmhouse ale, that's the one to get. Jason Eyestone says, Jerry, since it's St. Patty's Day and all, can you remind me of the IPA that came up in conversation last week that you said you keep on hand all the time? Oh my God. So Jason, I don't know if you'll be able to get it where you are, but this beer right here, oh my God, it's so good. Like I like low key have I'm in love with this beer. It's called Bound by Time. Oh my God. Here we go. I guess we're talking beers on a Monday morning. This beer right here, Edmund's O's Bound by Time. Ooh, it's in, holy crap, it's in Kroger's. If you get a chance to have this beer, this is an absolute pull over and pick this up. I'll tell you what, I like this beer so much that if it was only available at Buc-ee's, I would go. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I hate Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is too much for me. Sensory overload. This beer is that good that I would go to Buc-ee's. Now, granted, I would probably spend like $400 loading up and buy Buc-ee's out so I don't have to go back to Buc-ee's. But this beer, Jason, it's hot. All right. Z-Miv's telling me to get my crap together. I don't know why, but we'll allow that. All right. Let's see. People don't like parades either. All right. What are my thoughts on Trappist beers? I'm a huge fan. Trappist beers are basically like Belgian Abbeys. I love them. I love them. I love them. All right. Brews and Hacks. Yes, sir. Yeah, Chris Whitlock. I'm telling you what, I wish I could show you this over here. It's very cool. Stones fan has Blanche Chamblay at his local tap house. I got to have beers with Stones fan when I went to Phoenix. Great guy, by the way. If you go to Phoenix and you're looking for like a little fun beer partner, Stones fan is definitely a good one. Sunjay says Trappist ales are awesome. Omagong Brewery is fantastic for sure. I like St. Bernardus personally. If all the Belgian ales were or Trappist ales were on a tap line, I would probably get St. Bernardus. Cigar City Highlight ale is good. You know, Elliot, I like Highlight, but interesting. Cigar City got acquired, and I think they changed it a little bit. I used to like it more a couple years ago. We are at time here. I'm going to speed run questions. Nathan McKnight, any feel for the efficacy of the CCSP to launch me into GRC? Nathan, I don't know. I can't speak to CCSP. What I would say is go look at GRC cloud security related jobs and look if they're asking for the CCSP. Oh, Casually Joseph dropping a personal inside story into mod chat. Luciano says he's got a construction and truck driving background. Do you have any advice on how to prepare for interviews? Yeah, I mean, I have a video for that. Hold on one second. Simply Cyber interview. Really quick. Here we go. Who asked that question? Luciano. This right here. Hey there, cyber friends. Gerald here. Today, I have a video on how to crush cyber interviews using AI. I know that sounds a little odd, but trust me. Also, Luciano, I actually have a video on the channel on Simply Cyber Truck Driver to Cyber. All right. Here we go. Truck driver to cyber. Got a video for that too. At Luciano. There you go, buddy. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to speed run this one. Hold on. I definitely have something at 9:30. Let me look at my calendar. Okay, yeah, I've got to go. I'm speed running. It looks like I'm caught up. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. Shout out to the mod team for helping me. Thank you to Poner Joe. Remember, at noon today, we're doing the Simply Cyber Firesides at noon today with Matt Kiley. This guy's a friggin' legend. You're going to love this situation. Talking Azure. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Guys, have a great Monday. We're off and running. Until next time, stay secure.